Gregory Communications. Look, first of all, communications. It's all about what's happening here in this aisle here, the communications aisle. Tell me about the longevity of the company. I know it's no easy task.
This is an interesting story. I might go on too long. Cut me off when you're bored. So in 1992, I bought a storefront operation in Bethpage. It was called Bi-County Mailing.
I know that.
Everything was done by hand. There were 3 little old ladies in the back room stuffing envelopes. We didn't have a computer or a fax machine. Fast forward to today, we're in 25,000 square feet in the Heartland Business Park. We have 35 employees, about 600 or 700 regular customers, and we are a full integrated marketing company.
Congratulations, first of all. And you had to get there by what? Vision, perseverance is the number one thing in an entrepreneur, isn't it?
Well,
I know it's not money.
So here's the deal. Failure was not an option. We were all in when we bought that little shop in Bethpage. So failure was not an option. So I did not come from a business background. I'm a retired detective, so what do I know about business? So I hit the floor at Bi-County Mailing, not understanding what a P&L was all about. All I knew was I had to show up every day and work hard, and everything else was going to take care of itself. So as things progressed over the years, printing and mailing became a commodity. And I recognized that fairly early on. And the industry was telling printers, listen, you got to become a market solution provider, which really meant a pressman's got to tell you he's going to do marketing, which was BS. So I said, we need to do that, but we need to do it correctly. So I actually hired people with skills before we had the revenue to support it, because I did not ever want to be accused of faking it until you make it. So it was a heavy lift the first 3 or so years to convert us into a real agency, because the lift was out of my pocket. And we were, once again, we were all in to get where we are today.
Awesome.
And what we keep doing is trying to close any of the loops, any of the holes in our wheel in terms of messaging and marketing and so forth. Matter of fact, we just now created a really big initiative. We built a 3,500 square foot TV studio in our space. And right now it's the resident space for the Donna Drake Show. We've done many interview shows. We have a green screen environment. I have several different, I have a show called Ask a CEO interview series.
Yes.
And so we have 2 or 3 in the can now. We're doing post-production.
So this is the innovative side of what I'm seeing in you, Greg. And again, kudos to you. So as you said, started off with paper. By the way, I think I was your customer in '92 with the For Sale by Owner magazine. I know for a fact
yes,
I was.
You were. Exactly correct.
Absolutely
I remember
incredible. So, hey, kudos to us for still being here and being persevering. I'll use that word again. And we still have some hair, so we're good. Very, very, very cool. The innovative side of what you're doing is you could have just kind of stayed there where you were in the paper side of things. I know you were doing websites, but now you don't just throw a camera on something. You open up an incredible studio, which, by the way, I'll tell you, was really needed. So you filled a real need.
Well, I kind of understood that the studios on Long Island were either very small or massive. And I think ours is right in the sweet spot. I mean, I know some of the other professionals have been there already, and they've told me this is a really good thing. So now they have to come and spend some money with me to rent it, because I'm waiting for them to show up. Thanks for the kudos, but come on, boys, bring it out.
Believe me, you build it, they'll come, and you have the, as I said, the professional staff that'll make it happen.
Yeah.
So tell us about the next 10 years, looking out.
Well, I hope I have 10, but I'm going to use as
20.
many as I have. We're actually looking at different avenues to build the company to a bigger platform. We cut our teeth on the low-hanging fruit. We now know that we know what we're doing, and we're very good at what we do. So we are really starting to capitalize on the middle market and slightly bigger assignments, because it takes just as much energy to do a bigger assignment as it does a smaller assignment. So we found out that we were not maximizing what we could do in terms of revenue, so we changed our focus a bit. Matter of fact, just 4 or 5 weeks ago, I brought on a professional to occupy the business development role, to get us to that platform, get it to that level, and he's hit the floor running, and we're making a lot of changes from the old hand-to-mouth type operation to a more structured and process-focused organization. So our work is cleaner, smoother, much more controlled, and gets the client to where they need to be.
much more efficient.
Much more
in
efficient.
a nutshell.
Much.
And you seem to be able to have that, and I know it's probably not perfect, to choose good people, and when you choose good people, they hopefully stay because they want to stay.
That has been the hardest
I know it
part
has. Long
of
Island
my
is
job.
famous for that.
I've had several people come through the door who I thought that was it.
That's it.
And they stayed, and
that
they
sure
didn't
was
stay.
it.
And I asked some to leave. Some left unexpectedly, which threw us a curveball. So I'm always aware that it's a changing environment. I try to run a culture where they want to stay. But employees are employees. They're going to do what they think is best, no matter what I say to them. But I have their best interest at heart. And as a matter of fact, I have one employee right now that I specifically told him yesterday that I'm here to teach you. I want you to grow with the company. I want you to run the department. But you need to learn to listen. And I'm trying to bring them along. So I really want to wrap my arms around my people so that they know that I have their best interest at heart and that they do stay. But you can't ever really control that.
Well, if they follow simple steps, they'll get there. The problem with today is people think they're getting from A to B very quickly. And you know, with some of the longevity that we have, those of us here, that, look, it's a little bit of a journey, and it should be, because it makes it all the worthwhile when you get to the end of the journey. I want to talk to you about this show itself and your opinion on this show, because it is the biggest show. It is a B2B show. It seems wildly populated today. It seems very well attended.
I have been a participant in this show for well over 20 years. Matter of fact, the first show we went to was at a place called Sportsplex out in, I didn't even know what town that was.
Quorum?
Yeah, whatever. Right on.
Yes.
Yeah, by the mall. Long gone.
Right. Lake Grove.
But I did not miss a year, and we're here again today, and I'm meeting so many of my friends and business associates, renewing acquaintances. I'm meeting new people that I don't know. Some of these companies are very interesting that are on the floor, new companies that I haven't seen before. And it's very full of it. This room is always full of energy. I mean, I was at the executive breakfast this morning. Carl Banks was amazing for such a guy who you think is a football player. Most people don't give football players credit for having a brain. He was amazing. The man actually, he's part of a multi-billion-dollar company now.
I learned that early on, and I couldn't believe it myself.
Right?
It's fantastic.
So that's very exciting, and the executive luncheon is going to happen in a little bit. We're going to hear what's going on Long Island. Hopefully they'll tell us a bit more about the Hopog Industrial Park Impact Study, which is very impressive if you know anything about that. So I would not miss this show at all, ever. I wouldn't do it. HIA is a very, very important organization on Long Island. They're here to try and get business to do business. And I've always found that you're always treated with respect. You're treated as a member of the family. And if there's a referral to be made, it'll come out of the HIA office.
Well said. A lot of history here, a lot of wise words from Greg Demetriou of Lorraine Gregory Communications. Thanks for stopping by. I should mention your employee, Joey, who's very talented, will be on the panel at 1:45 p.m. with us in the video business. So I thank you for your input on that
Thanks, Kevin.
as well.
I appreciate
Thank you
it.
so
Thanks
much.
for
Great
asking
seeing
me.
you.